We are now live. Thank you all for joining me on another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend Rashid, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for spending the time with me today, for choosing this platform as we wait for our guest to arrive out of Malta. I believe it's out of Malta, um, and so and so there's a huge time difference. All right, so we'll wait for them and to arrive. But until they arrive, we got to talk about a few things. Okay. Um, I was reading a news clip uh, yesterday, and I sent it to my co-host, who is actually almost back in good health. Rashid, I'm Rashid, and that's Rashid. And he and I were talking. We're very good friends, and I sent him a message of a clip, a news clip from, I think it was from Reuters, if I'm not mistaken, where one of the nations, I believe it was Qatar. Matter of fact, I could bring it up for you real quick. Let's see, Rashid. Mm. It's a clip, very important clip. Um, Bahrain. I think it was Bahrain, um, and they were talking about UN. They would be behind a UN mandate or authorization for the use of force against Iran to reopen up the Strait of Hormuz. And in bizarro world, you would say, there's some legitimacy to that. But in the real world, where common sense should reign supreme and where rational thinking should be the predominant way of analyzing stuff, you would say, why would you authorize, or why would you be ready to help authorize, or table an authorization for force against Iran for using its UN mandated and UN given right of self defense against nations that were in negotiation with Iran, and then initiated an unprovoked attack as the so called negotiation had reached agreements? This lets you know that Bahrain, Qatar, and all of the rest of them are nothing but U.S. outposts in West Asia. Hopefully, hold on one second. Let's see. Uh, Everest Bartolo. Hold on one second. I just got it. Just got a message. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. What's good, them Sparks? Trying to see which one. Hold on one second, everybody. I just got a message. I'm trying to make sure it's not him.
Need better internet? Cox Internet has the fast.
This happens live on there. And remember, there's a big time difference. So, what's good? But think about, as I'm looking at this, I just want you to think about the madness, the sheer audacity, and the lunacy of this stuff. This is why I continue to tell you that we're in the change of worlds. Because this irrational, unsound thought is not just isolated to Donald Trump. It's not just isolated to the or that absolutely sad. You are Iran's neighbor. You are a fellow Muslim nation. And Israel is trying to expand, and you will eventually be ground up in the machine. And yet, you don't have the common sense to see that everybody in every nation associated with the Western Empire eventually become food for the machine today. And when you look at those empires, and then you look at today's modern Babylon or modern Rome, which is America, and also Britain, they have to go the same way as the other empires, whether you want it or not. It's not me. I'm talking about historical facts. Think about what led to the downfall of those little small empires at the time. And now, my example is to sacrifice, as you say that people should do, put them in army fatigues, in a naval dress, in marine uniform, and put them out there and let them fire some missiles and let them conduct military operations. And then we can take you serious. But you're so willing to shed the blood of other people because you don't have a dog in the race or a horse in the race. Twice, I believe. Double. Well, willfully ignorant proletariat of over propagandized sheeples. Absolutely. I was listening to something. I played on one of the shows where the person brought up some of the stuff, and they could not. Red Axis, he didn't show. I'm waiting on him, and I contacted him. He didn't show, and maybe it's because he's in Malta. But like I said, coming in on the show, just got it. I got a couple more surprises coming in for you, a couple confirmations. Okay, so that's cool too. If one won't and one don't, one or two will. It's cool. I got some surprises for you guys coming up, seriously. And also, we got a channel member stream coming up, and we also have another channel member stream and another Patreon stream coming up too, and some articles will be dropping on Patreon. And those who are channel members. All right, thank you so much. But let's see. M Spark says no biggie. Rashid, guests are always a plus, but we are here for you, my brother. We're here for the truth. I appreciate that. There he is in the building. I told you he would be here. I told you. Let me pull him up. See, you guys waited and waited. See, he's here. I told you it was a time difference. Greetings, my friend. How are you doing
Hello.
today?
Hello.
So I was telling the people, I said, listen, because they kept asking where you were, and I said, there's a big time difference, and sometimes we have to calculate that in our head. But I said, if he doesn't make it, he'll call me.
To live in. So, although I've done a lot of things in my life, for the present moment and for the remaining days of my life, I think this is the most important thing, that I'm
Mhm.
the grandfather of a 10-year-old child who feels responsible a bit for her future and for what I haven't managed to do to give her a better life.
Mm. So on the ground in Europe, how is it right now with the sanctions against Russia, and then now we see the oil markets and the gas and the fertilizers being stopped coming out of the Strait of Hormuz? Is it getting bad, or the prices?
Security are common. And if I threaten you, I'm also threatening my own security. Unfortunately, the road taken was to enlarge NATO. And as a result, we have the housing, education, health, and instead money is being taken from those areas to fund a war machine.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask you, um, is there outrage because
Polls, but in the electoral results of one government after another, one country after another. People feel very upset that they are told that social services like pensions are nationalized. The oil, you had the US and the UK president and prime minister through CIA and MI6 organizing a coup to remove him and to bring on the brutal reign of the Shah. Now, this is something which even the CIA has admitted and acknowledged publicly, that it's to work in education. Um, so what are they going to do? So this rot of decline is the decline of the West, and it's no Gulf. What's happening in Asia, and there they have 2026.
Thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little of
Thank
your
you.
time. I really appreciate it. We got to have you back on the platform. Be blessed,
Thank you.
be safe, and I'll
My
see you next
pleasure.
video.
My pleasure. Take care. Take
All
care.
right, all right. Everybody,
Bye.
listen. Please hit the like button. Show your appreciation by hitting the like button, respecting that we had him on the platform for you guys, and you've learned a lot. And so, as I said, I hope that the time that you spent with us, you've got an equal or greater return. Because remember, that's why it's called spending time. And time is the most valuable commodity because it's unrenewable. And once
And
you
we
use,
learn from each other. We
that's
learn
right.
from each other.
That's right.
Thank you.
And so once you use it up, you can never get it back. So make sure that you've gotten an equal or greater return for your time. Now, I like to say this as I say this at nauseum going off the air. Do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or some accolades to be had. Do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. As my late, great, and beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that God has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous because righteousness is the only thing that's going to get you out of here. Hey, mama, your baby boy still loves you more.